Welcome to My Fair Katie, a film review podcast. I, Katie Shimmick, will watch movies with my dad.
That'd be me, Scott Shimmick.
Together we will dive into a sometimes deep but hopefully always fun discussion of classic films. Today's movie is 1941.
Boom, boom, boom.
1941 is Spielberg's follow-up to Jaws and Close Encounters.
So, third time's the charm?
Sure. If his goal was to make the worst movie ever known to man.
Well, I guess we'll get to that, but the worst movie ever made?
It's definitely up there.
Jaws, masterpiece, agreed?
Yeah.
Close Encounters, masterpiece, agreed?
Yeah.
Really? Masterpiece.
Yeah, you convinced me.
Oh, awesome. 1941 is the next movie. We'll dig in a little deeper.
Okay.
So it's time for our 3-sentence recap. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Do you want me to try that again? Can you do it?
No, I don't really feel like doing it.
I'm going to do it again. 3-sentence recap. Recap.
Okay.
Is that enough?
Yeah. 1941 is a comedy set in Los Angeles shortly after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Chaos ensues after citizens and military personnel react to false alarms and misunderstandings. This leads to misunderstandings and absurd situations throughout the city.
Wait, did you just copy mine?
No, I didn't copy yours. You probably copied mine.
You want to hear mine?
Yeah.
Did you already read mine?
No, I didn't read yours.
Just 6 days following the attack on Pearl Harbor, tensions are running high in a coastal California town. Chaos ensues in a barrage of old Hollywood-style slapstick. The Californians do more damage to their town than they do to the Japanese sub.
Yep. I think he probably copied me a little bit there, but that's okay. When did you first see this?
I first saw this, let me see, probably like 1981 or so, like when it came on HBO. Did I enjoy it?
Did you enjoy it?
No, but I enjoyed then what I still enjoy now, and I haven't seen this movie since probably the early 90s. Come on. We can all agree there's one part of this movie that's pretty good.
It should not have been 2 hours. It should have been 5 minutes.
Wait, what if you had an hour and a half of Slim Pickens? Like, just like that part of the movie.
It might be a little better, but...
So, we're jumping ahead here, but, you know, the movie was supposed to be like, the director's cut is like an hour and 40 minutes. Or 2 hours and like 20 minutes, sorry. Like 140 something minutes.
Wow.
You know, one of the scenes they cut out was a scene where the Japanese sailors dress up as Christmas trees.
Okay.
And then Hollis Wood tries to like chop them down, and that's how they capture him.
No, I don't think they did that.
No, but like it was disjointed how like all of a sudden they had him, right? Like they were on shore and then he's driving by and then they just have him in the sub.
Yeah, but they're military. Like, I didn't find it weird to have guns.
I know, but like that's how, like, in the director's cut it happens. No.
Maybe that was one of the good choices the director made in this movie.
I think cutting 24 minutes was a good choice. I think cutting 78 minutes would have been a better choice.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't. That was the director's cut. He put it back in to re-release it later. Well, it was very well received when it came out. It had a Metacritic score of 34.
Wow.
That's a pretty low rating that's like Tentacles level, almost.
I would say Tentacles is a better movie than this.
And a 38% Rotten Tomatoes.
Other people didn't like it either?
No, they interviewed 100 people on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
38 of them were related to Steven Spielberg. Oh, no, sorry, I'm sorry. 37 were related to Steven Spielberg. One of them was, just liked it.
Miss. The first one was funnier.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut that. Reminder to self, cut that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Awards. This was nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And for Best Supporting Actor for John Candy. Did you know that?
Maybe it would have been a better movie if John Candy was in it more.
Yeah, probably. Anything's better with John Candy. But, I'm joking.
Okay,
good. Did you really?
Well, I don't know, because, the name Spielberg, everyone automatically thinks, oh, well, after Jaws and Close Encounters, you have to at least give it some respect.
Yeah. And then his next movie was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 3 movies of the greatest movies in the history of movies.
Yep.
3 of the top 50 movies of all time.
And then one of the bottom 50 were in the middle of it.
How does that happen?
I don't even know.
Yeah, we'll get to that. My earmuffs section. This movie remember, this was a PG rated movie.
I know, I saw that in the beginning, and then I was thinking about how I don't think that's that would hold up at all today.
No way. This is a hard R movie today.
Yeah. Well, because they're smoking.
There was mild cursing. Lots of smoking and drinking.
I'm pretty sure everyone was smoking and drinking.
Basically, everybody was smoking
Even,
and drinking.
probably the little boys, they just cut that out.
They just probably, yeah. There was a complete failure to recognize women's consent.
That...
You want to talk about that now?
I found that really, out of place and, not needed at all in the movie.
And not even inappropriately funny. It wasn't funny then.
It wasn't. I think he was trying to be funny. And then, the girl was, doing the same thing that the guy was doing to that, first girl.
Yes.
Which was, I think that was supposed to be a joke, too, but it was just really weird.
That was weird, too. And, yeah. There was also lots of fighting and violence. There were plenty of racial slurs and inappropriate stereotypes. Yeah. Not that any stereotypes are appropriate, but you know what I mean? Intentionally harmful stereotypes.
That was pretty much the whole movie, actually.
There was some nudity, lots of innuendo. It was really a PG-rated movie. I mean, that's where you drop your kids off and oh, enjoy the movie. I'll pick you up in 2 hours.
If you think of PG movies, you think of Bambi and
G. That's G.
Oh, G.
Yeah.
Well, kids movies.
Yeah.
This is not a kids movie.
Frozen is a PG movie. Yeah. Can you imagine Frozen had nudity and smoking and drinking?
I wish I was too young to watch this movie. I was 2 hours ahead.
I'm sure you would have appreciated that. Let's keep in mind that this movie was selected by Katie. Katie is curating.
Do you want to know why it was selected by me?
Yes, why?
Because I need to prove a point.
What point are you proving?
That Steven Spielberg is maybe a bit overrated.
Maybe a bit? Was that your point? Or was it that he's wildly overrated?
Wildly overrated. How can you watch this movie after watching the worst out of the 4 Twilight zones and think, how is this even the same director as Jaws and Close Encounters?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Schindler's List.
Well, I haven't seen that, but...
Yeah. Yes. I'm having trouble continuing to argue, except Raiders of the Lost Ark, Schindler's List, Jaws, Close Encounters.
Maybe he will convince you after watching Always.
Shh, don't give it away. Alright. Let's talk about the craft work. How about the musical score? What'd you think of that? It was a John Williams score.
Yeah. I actually didn't think it was that bad. The music was it gave it the feel of the 40s, you know? There was that one song that kept on playing. The
Andrews sisters singing? Oh, no. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The swing song. Yeah.
And that kind of put me in the mood of the 40s, but
Uh-huh.
Other than that, I didn't really notice it.
They had the Andrews sisters.
Yeah.
But the military type score, which I think sounds an awful lot like the Stripe score, which obviously you haven't seen.
No.
Costume design. Did you like the zoot suit?
I like the costume design.
Yeah. What was his name? Wally?
Wally was like the main boy.
Yeah, did you like his zoot suit?
What's a zoot suit?
The big lapels and the bright stripes and the big baggy pants.
I like the girls' outfits more.
Yeah. What did you think about so the special effects? So in this we had some pretty significant models.
Mm-hmm.
We had a real house falling down a cliff. Mm-hmm. We had planes flying and model planes flying.
Mm-hmm. Were they actually at the Grand Canyon?
I think they were. Because I was trying to find it online, and I think they actually did fly that plane over the Grand Canyon.
Wow, that's pretty crazy, then.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I didn't think the effects were, like, noticeably bad, but, like, there wasn't, like, anything that stuck out to me other than, except for the house falling down.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did you think that was funny at the end?
No, that their whole life is, like, ruined and in shambles. That's funny?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because he shot a hole through his own house.
Yeah, and because of that, his wife is probably going to divorce him. They don't have a place to live.
Well,
and the military didn't seem like they were going to step in at all and help him. Because he just walked away from the site.
Do you think the military should pay for the house?
I mean, I think it's kind of weird that they just left this, like, huge gun in his yard.
That was very weird. I wonder if that's, like, a thing that actually happened. I can't imagine that would have ever happened.
And then, like, give him instructions on how to use it.
Like, told him not to do those.
Well.
Definitely don't ever do this. That was kind of funny that they told him not to do these things in the exact order of which he should do them to fire the gun. No, that's not funny?
No.
Okay. Was there one funny thing in the movie to you?
Slim Pickens.
Yes, I really agree that Slim Pickens was funny. I could watch him do anything. I could have watched an hour and a half of Hollis K. Wood.
Yeah. He was by far the best character.
Was there anything else that was funny?
No.
No.
No. Did you think there was anything funny?
I thought it was kind of funny when the bomb rolled out of the airplane. I mean, it was obvious it was going to happen, but still, it was still kind of funny. The sound it made. No. I thought it was kind of funny when the house fell down the hill.
Yeah, because you think people's, like, thinking is funny. Okay. I mean, maybe we have different definitions of humor, but...
I didn't know you were so sensitive. About the plight of, I mean, they must be pretty rich. They have a house on the ocean in California.
Okay. That doesn't mean that they have another... I don't know how much a house cost back then, but to build another house.
I don't know. They could sell the land and buy a pretty nice house. Straight up. Just not on the ocean.
What if that was, like, their, like, family house? So, like, it was passed down from generation to generation.
It seems unlikely that in 1940 a house like that would have been built there and had been there for generations after generations.
What if they had...
What kind of architecture do you think it would have been built like in the 1880s on the ocean side? Would it have been that same style?
Maybe not, but what if they had priceless family heirlooms in the house?
Maybe they might have.
I just don't really think it's funny that
okay, fine. Fine. What's crazy is the people that were in this movie that are just not funny.
Literally no one was funny besides, like, John Candy, who wasn't even, like...
He wasn't even that funny. But John Candy is insanely funny.
Yeah, and Slim Pickens.
Slim Pickens was funny. And he is always funny.
Yeah.
John Belushi?
Mm-hmm.
Not funny.
Not funny at all. Was he the pilot?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I couldn't stand to watch those parts. It was, like, so disgusting to look at.
And he wasn't funny.
No, it was not funny.
I got kind of angry when he, like, threw the Coke bottle out in the Grand Canyon, too.
Yeah, like, littering much?
In the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, that's, like, the one place where it's, like, the worst to litter.
That's right. Shame on you.
Shame on him.
Yeah. And Dan Aykroyd
Mm-hmm.
was not funny in this movie.
Mm-mm. No one was funny except for somebody.
The one time he tried to be funny, he sticks the oranges up the pantyhose and says he's a bug. Like
that was just I didn't even think I was watching like a movie at that point. I thought it was I didn't think it was a real thing that someone would approve.
He had Robert Stack, the general.
Yeah.
I mean, that led to him getting Airplane after that. I mean, because he played that kind of serious, but even he wasn't funny in it.
No.
Not like he was in Airplane.
No.
Yeah, I'm just bewildered. And then to have Toshiro Mifune in this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's one of the greatest actors in the history of film.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a really good job. He played it straight.
Which one was he?
The captain of the Japanese sub.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's Yojimbo.
Yeah.
And he's saying these lines and doing these ridiculous things completely straight.
Why would he agree to do that?
I don't know. So after he did all the Kurosawa movies, in his younger career, in the 70s, he did a lot of, Pearl Harbor type movies, right? Mm-hmm. So like Tora Tora, I'm pretty sure he was in Tora Tora Tora. And he always played the Japanese commander.
Yeah.
And, he plays it with gravitas and he's,
Yeah.
I mean, he was an older gentleman by that time, so he was playing the Admiral, but then to show up in this and be a goofball
and be portrayed in a really racist way,
Yeah. I don't know. So, okay. Let's talk about, I think we know the context of the movie and its overall place in cinema history, in your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Which is slightly below average.
I wouldn't say the word slightly. I don't know if that would be my choice of words.
Moderately?
I would even go lower.
Materially?
Lower.
Substantially?
You're getting on the right track, but lower.
Shockingly?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we still have to pick a couple of words here.
Oh.
Our Odessa Steps. Our Odessa Steps Award for the best scene. What was the best scene of the movie?
Obviously, I think it's Slim Pickens.
Yeah, I mean that's the funniest scene, right?
The best scene was when I saw black on the screen and it was over.
Okay, well, speaking of being over, at the end, did you like in the credits when they showed all the actors and they only showed them yelling?
Only some of them were yelling, though. It would only work if all of them were yelling at one point.
Weren't they all yelling?
No, there was a few who weren't, like the dummy. That was also the only funny part.
Okay, the dummy was funny. Not really, but
no, the only character who
I was laughing at it, not with it.
Yeah, the only character who I liked was the annoying one on the Ferris wheel.
Besides Slim Pickens.
Yeah, besides
Hollywood. Yeah. What about the opening scene, which is a direct take on the opening scene of Jaws, done by the same director?
I mean, I think it would have been funny if it was another director, and it was obviously a bad movie, and
What's funny that it's the same director?
I don't think it's funny at all, because I think it's just
I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's funny at all.
I think it's just so embarrassing.
That's an inside Jaws line.
For Steven Spielberg to go from Jaws to this, and clearly he's aware that he made Jaws.
This is his passion project. This is the movie he wanted to make when he had all that juice for making those two of the biggest movies ever. He takes that juice and makes this movie.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either. All right. Outpost 31. What was the best shot of the movie? Screen going to black.
Yeah. I don't even know. Maybe one of the best shots in the movie was when they were fighting. Actually, I thought, the part where they're fighting was also pretty interesting.
Wait, who's they, by the way?
They as in the army.
Everyone?
Yeah.
And the Marines?
I thought it was
and the locals?
I didn't think it was funny, I'm gonna make that clear. But I thought that it was interesting choreography. The way that They're like swinging around from like the ceilings. Like I could tell it took a lot of planning and budget.
It was really a throwback to like the old like ridiculous Hollywood slapstick stuff that Mel Brooks makes fun of too.
Yeah, but Mel Brooks might be a little funnier.
Mel Brooks is a billion times funnier.
I know.
All right, so the best shot though. What about I would go with the Grand Canyon shot just because it was such a cool thing and it was a real plane.
Yeah, I could see that.
There was another one I liked with the plane where you see the plane flying over the model of the town. I thought was really good.
Mm-hmm. The planes were cool.
And then another one I had. Stop. Another one I had was when the submarine goes up in the beginning with the Jaws shot, and the sailor sees the full moon. Get it? It was a full moon.
Yeah, I got it.
Actually, no, but in seriousness, when the sub hits the Ferris wheel and the Ferris wheel starts rolling down the dock.
Yeah.
The pier, rather.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. That was a
that
cool
was
shot.
Funny that they could have died in there. Like,
it's not that kind of movie. Nobody was gonna die.
if it was in real life, they probably.
It was a cool shot of the model with the wheel. Fine. So what's your award winner? The full moon.
The black screen at the end.
Stop. All right, you got any facts for me this week?
Yes.
What?
This one is interesting to me. The original budget was $15 million. Guess how much it ended up being?
16 million?
35.
35?
Yeah.
That's an extraordinary amount of money for a movie back then.
Because, like, he wanted to keep reshooting things, and, like, there were, like, delays, and it became one of the most expensive comedies of all time.
Well, I guess he thought he could get away with it after doing that on Jaws.
Yeah.
And Jaws was, like, the biggest movie of all time.
Yeah, but...
What else you got?
Spielberg said that he felt a lot of pressure making this movie after coming from Jaws and Close Encounters. And...
Yeah?
He was, like, scared, to, like, match the previous success, but still, like... Because he also wanted it to be kind of historical. He wanted it to be accurate.
He wanted this movie to be historically accurate.
He did. He spent a lot of time, like, on the costume designs and, like, the sets. Like, he spent a lot of thought on that.
Okay. But so much of this is not historically accurate.
No, but the part that, like, isn't supposed to be funny is. So the whole movie, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, on that, like, he actually brought in military consultants to, advise on the depiction of wartime equipment, uniform, and tactics. To add that, later.
Tactics. Because the tactics were very military.
I'm just saying what he said.
He was trying to capture that Apocalypse Now feel of where in Apocalypse Now they had to like go into military like training for 6 weeks, basic training beforehand, and they had to live in the jungle and they had to dig tents and do all that stuff. Was it like that?
I guess.
Do you think there was a lot of cocaine on set?
Maybe.
I got a feeling there was an awful lot of cocaine on this set. And people thought it was funny when it wasn't.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah. I think that was a lot of what was going on. So, any hot takes from this one, or is it just...
No, because I think everyone can agree that this was just a terrible movie.
Apparently 62% of people agree with that. And the other 30% are related to Steven Spielberg. Yep. All right. RESPECT. Should this be remade? No. You know, it's crazy. I was gonna say, like, you know, would Chris Pratt be good in this movie? But like, the star caliber of this movie is insane. And even the people in the background became huge stars. John Candy had a little tiny role. Huge star. Mickey Rourke. I don't even know if he had a line. He was in this movie. He became a huge star in the 80s. I mean, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi, two of the biggest comedians in, like, movie history. Who else? Treat Williams was a big star. I mean, either he just did Hair or he was just about to do Hair in the movie. He was a big star in the 80s too. Robert Stack had been a big star. Warren Oates was a big star. Toshiro Mifune was a big star. Slim Pickens was a star. Although Slim Pickens totally was great in this.
Yeah, but I just don't know where like it went wrong, because they had the budget, they had the director, they had the actors. Like, I don't.
They didn't have a good script.
Yeah. They had the music.
The music was fine. Nothing wrong with the music.
But I just don't know what happened.
So would it be better if they remade it?
Well, I don't know how it could get any worse.
I don't know in today's day and age what they could do if they take out all of the inappropriate racial and sexual content.
Yeah.
There's not much left of this movie.
No, there's literally nothing. Because half the movie is with the army, and the one, like, mean army guy is just chasing that one girl around.
Chasing? He's like...
Yeah.
Carrying, like, caveman style. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And not to mention that, but all the other guys were just watching it. Like, she was screaming, help, help.
Nobody would help her.
No one would help her, not even her own sister.
No.
Her sister was the one who was, like, chasing him. And then the other
that wasn't her sister. That was her best friend.
I thought they both lived at that house, though. I think they were sisters.
You think? I thought they were just friends.
I think they were sisters.
That's weird. Anyway, go ahead.
And then the other half was, like, really racist towards, like, Japanese people.
Yeah. That was much more acceptable back in the 70s. Because remember, at that time, you know, people who fought in World War II were my age.
Yeah.
So you can imagine there was still a lot of animosity.
I know, but that's why it can be remade today.
Oh, there were jokes in there that you probably didn't get, where they were talking about, like, the cheap Japanese stuff, which is when in the 70s, Japanese stuff was considered to be, like, chintzy Chinese Temu type stuff.
Oh.
And then in the 80s, Japanese stuff became known as being better quality than American stuff.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why some of those jokes were in there. Like the submarine falling apart.
But the German was like, this is Swiss, it's like the best stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and Christopher Lee was in this. Saruman himself. Don't pretend like you don't know who Saruman is.
Okay, I'll pretend like I know who it is.
Dracula. How about Dracula? He was Dracula in the 70s.
Okay.
Like, he had just been Dracula like a couple years before. In a big Dracula movie.
Why would they agree to this?
I don't know. I guess because they were working with the guy who just did Jaws and Close Encounters.
Yeah, I guess.
Right?
Didn't they get a script before they had to, like, sign a contract?
I mean, imagine if Christopher Nolan is like, I'm going to do this World War II comedy. You should be in it. Who would say no?
No, it wouldn't be like a World War II. It would be like a 9/11 comedy. If you think about it.
Yeah,
so
that would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Like 9/15.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 4 days later in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a really horrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right.
It's like almost the same amount of time in between.
Yeah, I mean, it's like maybe 10 years, but yeah, it's like a generation in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's a very interesting point.
I don't think that would go over well at all.
I don't think it would. I don't think it would at all. There were World War II comedies before this. Lots of them.
Oh, like, Springtime.
Oh, the producers? You're thinking of Springtime for Hitler from the producers? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yes, they made fun of Hitler in that. But, no, like Catch-22, the novel, is like a World War II comedy, and then they made a movie of it in the 70s. Well, MASH was in the 70s, but it was a Korean War, but there were, there was a whole bunch of World War II comedies. Don Rickles was in World War II movies, and he was never a serious actor.
Really?
Well, until Casino. But yeah, I mean, he was a comedian. He's Mr. Potato Head from Toy Story. Anyway, I'm way off on a tangent here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll rein it back in and do the haiku reviews.
Okay, I'll go first since mine isn't good. Chaos And 41. Laughs lost in wartime frenzy, Spielberg's misfire.
That's pretty good. You don't like that?
No.
I think it's better than mine.
I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it because I didn't want to think about this movie anymore.
Okay. Well, mine is slapstick all nonsense, Mifune and Pickens shine. The rest is garbage.
Agree.
All right, so that's a wrap. I'm gonna I go first, give you my final thoughts, and this movie is not good.
No.
It's not a good movie, and it's such a shame. It's like such a wasted opportunity with all that talent.
Yeah, but how could they make this funny?
What do you mean, how could you make it funny?
Like, I understand the talent, but, like, I just don't think the idea is good.
You could take the same setting with the same actors, change what they think is funny into stuff that's actually funny, and it would be funny. Take away the Treat Williams thing with the girl, and the girl with the Treat Williams, right?
Yeah.
And take away, and the whole, you could actually do a dance thing and have like a big dance number that leads to a giant fight like that, but over something funny.
Yeah.
Not over something rapey.
Yeah.
And you could have John Belushi being actually funny.
Yeah. I just don't think that, like, the idea is good, though. You know what I mean? Like,
I hear what you're saying.
I don't know.
9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much to do that.
Get right on that. It's a great idea. All right, so say that's a wrap, Katie.
That's a wrap, Katie.
This episode of My Fair Katie was written and produced by Scott and Katie Shimmick. A special thanks for our music to Marty Chardy Esquire, the best IP lawyer on this side of the Hudson.